Hey, this is Rich over at TVP Live with another quick tips tutorial brought to you by Adobe Photoshop Elements Tutorials Group, and let's jump right in. Today's poster wanted to colorize this photo. Actually colorize the wine, the red wine here, and basically there's a couple ways to do this. And if you try to use a photo that's black and white, then you can go to Enhance and to Colorize Photo. The problem with that, as you'll see, is that it colorized the glassware and the background, but not the wine. And over here you can see of the choices that it made the red wine red. So that's not going to work. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. And basically, in our case, we're going to have to color this from scratch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a new layer. And in that layer, I'm going to create my own colors. So I'm going to go to the color palette and let's go into the reds. Look, we're going to do a red wine, right? But red wine is actually pretty dark red. So I'm going to start at about here. Hit OK. I'm going to grab a nice soft brush and I'm going to go ahead and paint this wine in just like that. And the reason why I'm not doing this with a hard brush is because we're going to cut out the edge of this with another soft brush. And because this photo, as you can see, the edges of the photo, as I zoom in, they're not sharp by any means. No photo is really sharp, so you don't want to be doing this with a sharp-edged brush. Now let's go ahead and take that new piece that we just put in and bring its opacity down, so now we can erase what we don't want. So I just bring it down to about 45%. Let's grab the eraser and let's grab a really soft brush that's about 5 point, and it's a really small brush. I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to brush out everything that I don't need by hand. Once I got that brushed out, now we're just going to cut it out using the polygon tool, and this will be the polygon lasso, and we'll just basically grab everything that we want to keep, and we're going to right click, hit select inverse, hit delete, and it gets rid of everything else that we don't want. So now that we got our color cut out, we want to adjust the colors and adjust the opacity so that it fits properly. Only problem is it's going to be different between this foreground, this middle ground, and this background. So we want to make 3 copies of this once we get the color down the way we want it. So first we want to adjust the color. I'm going to go to Enhance, Lighting, and Brightness. Let's make this be the actual brightness of wine, which is not there. It's more like really subtle down here. So now that we have the general color the way we like it, let's go ahead and duplicate that a couple of times. And that's because we have sections 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to take the top section here and make that the section 1 by erasing everything else. Grab the polygon lasso and get rid of everything else. Delete. Next, I'll turn that off, turn on the middle section, which we'll use for this middle section here. Once again, grab the lasso tool, right click, select inverse, get rid of everything else. And finally, we'll turn that off, turn on this bottom layer for this last section here. Select inverse and get rid of everything else. Alright, I'm going to turn these sections back on. And now consider each section what it should really look like, okay? This one is the background, but it's not being covered by glass, so we're going to leave it as it is. This one here has got one layer of glass but no wine in it. So we're going to take its opacity and lessen it just a little bit, like this. And then this one here is got covered by the glass and by the other wine, so we're going to lessen its opacity by a lot. As a matter of fact, we can go over here to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur, and we can let's just go straight to 3. Boom. And since it shrunk because I Gaussian blurred it, I can just grab the edge and bring it back and make it a little bit bigger. So it looks like it's kind of a reflection going through the glass. And there we go. We were able to color our wine from scratch. Well, this is it for this tutorial. This is Rich calling it quits, saying over and out.